Do you remember, though, those mid-'90s bloodbaths between the Avalanche and the Red Wings? I mean, just Chris Draper, those Claude Lemieux. Sure. You think those guys respected each other?
Yeah.
You think that handshake was a sincere gesture? I don't. They wanted to maim each other.
Yeah,
it was a complete farce. It's a joke.
Well, I think hockey does it better than ever. Better than any team, better than any sport. They legitimately, I've talked to a lot of guys in hockey who really do respect other guys. They may not like them on the ice, but they respect for
So when
what
Tom
they're
Wilson's
doing.
skating through the line, after a series spent headhunting, guys are like, I might not like you, 43, but I respect you and I'll shake your hand. Give me a break. Well, they should abolish these things at beyond the high school level. That's about all they're needed till. And get rid of them, because you're going to have more situations like this when emotions are fraught and people's tempers are hot.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, though, when the coaches set the precedent. They're supposed to be the people not doing it, and these coaches should worry only about their own teams, not what the other team is doing. I'm sorry, but Juwan Howard was full court pressing, and for that, Greg Gard said, I got a bunch of walk-ons on the court. I'm going to take a timeout. He had one at his disposal. There was, play the game until the end. And if you don't respect it, so be it. But at the end, shake your hand, move on, and go on. Now, if they want to just, totally get away from that, fine. I don't care one way or the other. But I think it's a lack of respect, and it certainly has trickled down to kids. You see it now at the youth levels, and I think it's a bad thing to do. I really do. These coaches, more than any, the players looked like they were trying largely to, separate things, and it was the coaches who were the ones who were at fault. That's terrible.
I mean, Wisconsin's assistant coach is the guy who made it even worse, and then he got 5, fingers across the forehead and side of his head as his, punishment. Listen, I'm not trying to say here and sound like some extremist. I think obviously you need to teach kids good sportsmanship, but when you get to that level, these are millionaire coaches. This is highly competitive. It's interesting you say that the coaches should also set the precedent, and you say there's a lack of respect there in that moment. Maybe. But Juwan Howard and Greg Gard have had multiple post-game handshakes before that have passed completely without incident, which goes back to what I'm saying, which is this is a very highly emotional, fraught moment between two guys who have otherwise not had problems, Bob. So if you just get rid of the thing that puts them together and forces them for the idea of optics and everything else to actually pretend like they're happy with each other or that one guy isn't fuming because his team lost, you get rid of that element, I think you get rid of this problem.
Yeah, the other thing I would have liked to have seen today, just me personally, is both those guys come out and say something, that they take responsibility. It was not
Howard
a good look.
did.
Well, I didn't.
Howard did. He released a lengthy statement
I don't want to
basically
see a
taking
statement.
full
I want
responsibility.
to see it on camera, both of them together, sitting side by side, even if it's Zoom. Come on, these statements are people don't even write their own statements. I want to see it legitimate, and you won't because they don't believe it. So, on that note, we got to go to break. We have a lot to get into. Kevin Colbert. He spoke today. We'll talk about some of that stuff. We'll talk about the Penguins and what we've seen the last couple of days. I'm sure Chris has some good thoughts on that. So do I. And we want your thoughts as well at 412-575-2600. This is the Nightly Sports Call presented to you by Ireland Contracting right here on 93.7 The Fan and Pittsburgh CW.